Hey, 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 how are we doing, everyone? So today is day 226 post-op for me from my mini gastric bypass that I had on the 14th of February this year. So that makes us roughly 7.5 months post-op. Haven't been live for a while, so I thought it was about time I came and checked in and said hello. So yes, as you know, if you've been following me for a while, every Monday is my weigh-in day. So I did weigh in on Monday at 95.8 kgs. That has me down 47.3 kgs in that 7.5 month period, which for our American friends, plus because it sounds really cool saying this, that's over 100 pounds. Over 100 pounds lost, which is just nuts, right? Totally nuts. So yes, about 7.5 months post-op from the mini gastric bypass. Life has definitely settled down a whole lot. And I guess it all feels normal now, which is really good. There are still days when I'm absolutely still learning, still figuring out what I can eat, still making mistakes with food. And I think, to be honest, those lessons will probably be lifelong. I don't think that's ever something I'll probably ever know, because things can change on a day-by-day basis. But since I last jumped on to chat, I have done a trip over to Australia. So I headed to Brisbane, which is about a 3.5-4 hour flight from where I am. Wow, what a totally different experience that was. I mean, to start with, the seatbelt went on me. Now, I have never had to use the plain seatbelt extender, to the extent that a few times I have pushed myself so far back in that seat to get that seatbelt on and just sat there like sandwiched in, too scared to get up to go to the toilet in case it wouldn't go back on. But I have never used the seatbelt extender. This time I had like slack on the seatbelt, and it was comfortable. As comfortable as a plane can be, but especially traveling alone, it's not like I had the benefit of knowing the people beside me, because of course when you're bigger you spill over the armrests, your arms don't fit within your allocated spot, all of these things, and it wasn't like that. It was just a totally different experience. So that was really cool. Even just dealing with the heat that was in Brisbane. Of course, you know, I was coming out of winter here in Christchurch, which is a pretty cold place to be in winter, heading over to Brisbane, which is significantly warmer. I didn't die. I've never been good in heat. I have always told people, give me a cold day any day, because you can always put more clothes on, but when you're a bigger person, you can only take so many clothes off. But I was comfortable. It was great. It was good. I didn't run from air conditioning place to air conditioning place and things like that. So that was really nice. While I was over there, I did go out shopping one day with my 15-year-old niece, and I said to her, okay, I need to buy some new flared jeans. I was wearing my size 16s, which you might recall that I purchased from Glassons a while ago. Was so excited about, and I'm like, right, I'll need some size 14s. I need some to move into. So she took me to the shops to go to, and I got myself some size 14 jeans. Now, I didn't even try them on, because I'm like, well, they're not going to fit. Like, I'm just buying these for my next step, right? I'm here, let's go shopping. This is something we can do. You know the places to go. Let's go buy them. I'll take them home, hang them up, deal with that when it happens. So when I got back from Aussie, of course, I needed to do a whole lot of washing. And I needed to do a live one night for my Pure Romance by Marie business, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to wear? So I thought, I'll just try on these 14 jeans, just see how far away I am from, you know, while I'm trying these clothes on. They fit. Now, by fit, they did up. They weren't comfortable, but they did up, which blew my mind. To the point now where a couple of weeks later, I am officially rocking out size 14 jeans, baby. Yes, I am. So I started in size 26. I was wearing size 26 tops and 26 bottoms, and I am now wearing 14s. And still losing, which is, yes, size 14 now. Nuts, just nuts. So that was quite exciting. So I've now got my Aussie jeans that I get to wear everywhere and loving them. Something also different experience, obviously, on the plane for me. Anyone that's flown international knows that the alcohol does flow on such flights. I am still alcohol free. It is highly, highly, highly suggested that you do not touch a drop of alcohol for at least 1 year post-op. Now, the reason for that is you are very prone to addiction transfer. So someone that's overweight it's pretty safe to say that they have been addicted to food. They have had an addiction to food, whether that's been a coping mechanism, they've used it to dull emotions, whatever it might be, comfort thing. Their addiction or their go-to has been food. Now, obviously, that has been literally taken away from me. I just simply do not have the option to use food in that manner. So it's highly suggested that you don't do things like drink, gamble, things like that in that first year, because your body can easily divert to a new addiction. So I abstained from the alcohol, which was fine, that didn't worry me. But then even when it came to mealtime, I'm like, haven't thought this through. I did have a protein bar in my handbag for just in case, but I ordered the meal, listened to the options, chose the one that was likely to have the highest amount of protein, ate about a third of it, which was all I could physically fit in, and then the air hostess wanted to check that everything was okay because I hadn't eaten much, and I'm like, oh honey, I'm full. Full, I'm good to go. So that was quite cool. One thing I have been craving so badly for probably 6 to 8 weeks now, maybe even longer, is sushi. So sushi was always my takeaway of choice. I love sushi, always have, a good rice ball or something like that. I've always loved sushi. And the rice is very much a no-go in those early post-op periods. Just way too starchy, way too carbohydrates, and not enough protein, essentially. Well, about a week ago, I'm walking around and I'm like, I can't resist this urge anymore. Like, I'm doing pretty well. I've trialed lots of different foods now. I seem to be coping okay. I need sushi. So I went and bought some sushi. Oh, and it was the most glorious sushi I've probably ever eaten in my life. It was so good. I ate 2 pieces and I was full, but it was amazing. So it did 3 meals for me. And all I did on those days that I did have my sushi was I made sure I had a protein bar a couple of hours later just to up the protein, to make sure I'd still got enough protein. But it scratched that urge, it scratched that itch. Yeah, it was amazing. Oh, you've had sushi already, Beth. That's so early post-op. Yeah, that's really early post-op for you to be having that. Should have stopped at 1. Yeah, that's the problem we have too, right? You're like, this is working. I'll just have 1 more. So the sushi was glorious, which was amazing. But yeah, otherwise life's still going pretty good. As I said at the beginning, still learning lessons each day. One day I can eat something and then another day I can't. For example, a while ago I went to my parents' place and we had fish and chips for tea, and sort of ummed it out about, I'm like, I'll get a piece of fish, take all of the batter off it, eat the white fish, and again have a protein bar or something with it. And stomached it fine. It was glorious. It was beautiful. Good old time. So in the weekend just being, when I went to pick up my son from his father's, we had fish and chips there for tea before we headed home. So same fish and chip shop. I ordered the same thing. I did the exact same procedure. I ate about half of what I ate last time and then had to go and bring it all up in the toilet. Just didn't sit. Didn't want to go. I think possibly my body was just like, that is way too much fat for one day. I don't know what it was. But that's the thing. What works one day doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's going to work the next day. So it's very much an up and down. But I'm definitely learning the signs a lot better. In the past, I would have sat and tried to breathe through it and just tried to be like, you're okay, mate, you're okay. You can do this. Come on, just breathe through it. Whereas this time I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna work. Excuse me one moment, go to the toilet. It naturally comes up really, really easily. Go back, carry on. And then it's over and done with, rather than sitting there for half an hour with the sweats trying to fight through it. So there's lots of lessons to be learned, and I'm learning them as we go through. But yeah, 95.8 kgs down, sorry, 47.3 kgs down, weighing in at 95.8, over the 100 pounds. Definitely now starting to learn the life of loose skin. I used to complain that I had a bit of loose skin under my arms. That is nothing on what's going on the tummy now. We've definitely got some loose skin, because we're amongst friends. So my size 14 jeans look great with a looser top, but when you take them up, you can actually see there's quite a bit of overhang. Now this is skin. This is absolutely nothing but skin. There's no fat or anything like that. And most of the skin I actually tuck in. So this is all just loose skin. So you can imagine when I don't have my pants on, this all just kind of hangs down here. Now that skin will continue to shrink. Skin can continue to shrink for up to 1 year after weight loss. So it's normal, the normal realm of things. Most people will lose weight for sort of a year to 18 months, seems to be the magic number. Of course, everyone's different. So surgeons that do like skin removal surgery, for example, won't even look at you, won't even take an appointment with you until you are 1 year after you have got to a stable weight. And this is because your skin can continue to shrink during that time. So I'm still rapidly losing weight, so I know that skin is going to continue to shrink, but I've definitely got to the point now where we've got some stuff that needs to shrink, whereas up to now I've kind of been like, oh, look at this, I've got loose skin. I'm like, honey, you didn't know what you were going to get. You had no idea. So yeah, we're getting there. So we just wear loose tops and we're fine. Just all things to get used to, right? And do you know what? I'm still over the moon to live with loose skin for the difference in my life that this almost 50 kilos lost has given me. Extra energy, not self-confidence. I know that is absolutely a very normal side effect for people when they lose weight. But I really didn't hate myself before. I honestly didn't. I loved my body. I loved myself. I loved my skin. I was more than happy and comfortable in it. You know, I truly did this for health reasons, not for appearance reasons in the slightest. But just the increased energy is the big thing. And just no pain. You know, I was literally carrying around an extra 50 kgs of luggage on my body every day. And it's not like you would get up in the morning, go to the toilet, have your shower, and then pick up your 50 kgs luggage and do your day and put it down when you get home, sit on the couch. Constantly carrying 50 kgs, your ankles, your knees. I knew I had pain. I was well aware I was living with pain, but until the pains disappeared, I don't think I realised how much pain I lived with, if that makes sense. It's almost like I didn't know what normal was. I didn't know where that base marker was to realise how much of it was pain due to being overweight. But now that it's gone, it's life-altering. Because I didn't complain about it before. I mean, sure, at the end of the day, I kind of did the off the couch, you know, but it's not like I ever took pain relief. It's not like anything like that. I was just conscious that my knees and my ankles were sore, but now that they're not, they were sore. And it was just a constant state of pain. That, like I say, that was my normal. I didn't know what normal was. That was my normal. So that's been quite eye-opening to notice. And again, because I still don't know what my normal is, potentially there might even still be a little bit of pain there that'll go away yet. I don't know. You know, according to the surgeons anyway, and the fact that I'm still losing weight reasonably steadily. I'm still averaging around that sort of 800 grams to a kilo a week easily. I'm likely to lose another 15 kilos yet. The surgeon always said to me that he would pin me for an approximate 80 kilo at the end. So, you know, that's another 15.8 kilos away. So I may actually discover that I'm still living with pain. I don't know. It's just been a very fascinating part of the journey. But anyway, that is me rocking out my size 14 jeans. Thanks, Marg. Thanks, Beth. Yeah, living life, enjoying it. I have had a few people lately ask me if I still regret the decision. Now, I know I repeatedly said in those first 3 months I regretted having this surgery with every ounce of my body. And in that moment, I 100% fully did. Now, looking back, that 3 months was worth it. I have one regret. The one regret that I do have is that I wasn't as financially prepared as I wish I had been. Being a single mum, self-employed, no such thing as sick leave, anything like that. I did go in with money in the bank to allow me to take time off work, to allow me to have weeks without income, but I didn't have enough money in the bank to allow for that, a period, that, you know, for 3 months of being really down and out. So I do regret not going in a lot more financially secure than I do, 100%, because the stress that caused me was huge. There were weeks that I was getting food parcels as I simply couldn't afford groceries. It got drastically bad towards the end there. But I don't regret it. Has it been a journey? Oh yes, it's been a journey. Has it been hard? Some days have literally been hell. But I don't regret it at all. I just regret not having more money in the bank before I went into it because of the financial situation that I am in, being single, you know, self-employed single mum. But yeah, don't regret it. Not in a heartbeat. Would do it all again, just with more money in the bank and maybe more supplies in the pantry first. Anyway, I'm going to go do some paperwork before I head to bed. Thank you all for listening this far. I feel like I've been rabbiting a little bit tonight, not really staying on point, but that's okay. I hope you're all doing amazing. Again, thank you so, so much for all of the support that you have given me through this page. It has been, yeah, overwhelming. And how many people I now know that have recently or are going through the process of the surgery themselves and that have reached out to me and thanked them for the information that I've shared on this page. I've been nothing but honest on here. Like, you saw me with a tube up my nose with them pumping food into my stomach. Like, I wasn't sugarcoating anything for you. So I'm glad that I could be an honest, informative place for you. And good luck. And for anyone that's had the surgery, welcome to the loser's bench, honey. It may be rough now, but you will not regret it. And I promise you that. Good night, everyone.